Here we go. We're already up to 91% health. And this is something that's not talked about with this guy, right? No one likes using potions. No one likes using revives. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time to talk about Black Panther absolutely destroying this pretty difficult void especially because of the node, right? With the setup and spike, that we need to have at least 6 debuffs or more if we're going to be knocking down the defender. He will take increased attack damage. You see 500% there. Otherwise, we would be taking the damage. So you really want to make sure you're getting those debuffs up if you're going to use any of your specials or knock them down at all. And then there is Safeguard added on top, which makes it even more beneficial to have a bleeder here like Black Panther. And then of course, remember, Black Panther does have the ability to shrug the debuffs on intercepts. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this fight. It's pretty awesome. It was a ton of fun. I'm really enjoying my Black Panther. And then we're going to take a very cool, I think we're going to look at 3 or 4 fights of Immortal Abomination taking down the Rage node, which I know is unusual. That's not typically who you would think to use, but we'll talk a little bit about why I used him, how much fun he was, and him showing off he also is immortal. All right, let's jump into this, have a good time. Going against this void. I always like to be as forthright as possible. This did take me 2 takes. You're gonna see kind of an odd cut here. The first setup didn't go as well, but fortunately the second one does. So kind of going in here, and like I said, this is a little bit tricky because you really need to have 6 or more debuffs if you're gonna be knocking him down. I didn't wanna knock him down yet because I would have had to have used my heavy, which would have triggered the Panther's Might, which is really the big damage phase there for Black Panther. This is a rank 3 Black Panther, and the SIG is only SIG 20. There is on this node was the immunity to, I think it's Force of Will, immunity ability accuracy reduction. So I would not have been able to reduce his ability accuracy anyway. But if I did have a SIG 200 Black Panther, that is something that I could have done otherwise, just kind of keeping that in mind. So we're doing the nice evades here, and right now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my SP3, but I wanted to make sure I got above the 6 debuffs. We got to 10, so I'm gonna throw this SP3, which would have reset Panther's Might if I'd have been in it, but I wasn't. So now I need to just get those debuffs going again, because I really do want to trigger the Panther's Might, get the bleeds going, get the damage going. But even if I hadn't, you see at this point, we're winning this fight. I'm winning this fight. There's really not too much to be concerned with. But there we go. I had enough debuffs. I was able to throw my SP1, triggers Panther's Might, and now it's going to be doing these draft back intercepts. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Look at these. We're going to get up to 20 bleeds. It's fun. I'm not going to do it, but I'm actually borderline tempted, or it would be tempting to SIG 200 this guy and just see what you could do, because look at all these beautiful, beautiful bleeds. I'm going to throw the SP2, but in hindsight, I don't know. Well, no, that was a lot of damage when you add it all up. That was probably a good idea. But now I'm losing the debuffs, but look how quickly we've already added them back on. This is a pretty tough boss. You're fighting a void here. As you see there, it looks like I even made a mistake. I've forgotten about that. But I even make a mistake. Pretty tough boss. Got him down and had a ton of fun doing it. I'm really looking forward to using Black Panther more. Let me know if you want to see more Black Panther. I want to show more Black Panther. I've been enjoying it. And like I said, if 6 stones weren't still, I know there's more of them coming into the game, but they're a rare thing. If they were more plentiful, I would really give consideration to taking him to SIG 200, because that's how fun he is. And the damage is actually really good once you get going with him. So let me know what you think, and if you'd like to see more. All right. So now the lane I took to get to this void was the Rage, and there's poison. Let's see if I think I do show the node here. Here we go. So there's Power Shield. Oh, let's scroll back. Sorry about that, everyone. All right, I got that fixed. Hopefully we edited that out pretty well. All right, so there is the Rage there, which is something that's going to be difficult. You're going to see me get into a little bit of trouble with it. That's somewhere where obviously Immortal Abomination does not work, and you're more typical like Doom or something like that. Typically who you're using, there's Power Shield here, right? Where the basic attacks aren't doing damage. So again, that doesn't really shout Immortal Abomination, Hurt Locker. That's not that bad. That's actually not that bad for Immortal Abomination, because you're switching back and forth oftentimes between the SP2 and the SP2-1. Anyway, so that's fine. Here's why I was like, you know what? I've got a Doom. I've got all these champions you usually use for Rage. I want to use Immortal Abomination. This poison vulnerability, I think this is really going to make up for it. And it's cool. Obviously, I'm showing it to you for a reason. Let's go ahead and jump in on this. The fight against Psylocke, nothing really happened. As you can see, I think I came out of it with full life. So no point in showing that one. I want to show this one against Quake, where this kind of starts to fall apart a little bit. But anyways, so we're going in, you see, we knew that we weren't going to be doing any damage from the basic hits. So at this point, I'm just looking to get to my SP2. But you're going to see pretty much a comedy of errors here, which is going to develop the opportunity to show something about Immortal Abomination that I think just doesn't get brought up enough. We're used to Immortal Hulk. We're seeing the really cool things with Immortal Hulk. When these two champions first came out, it was like, Brian Grant designed Immortal Abomination. He obviously is an amazing champion. He actually is. Brian did a fantastic job. I think that's very cool. And everyone was just ready to decide that Immortal Hulk was terrible, terrible, terrible. And we're finding out he's actually pretty good too. Lots of uses for him. But here we are. So this is only doing damage through my specials. But again, that doesn't count all that poison damage that we're doing. And then we had the damage, I think it was called from the acid wash, right? Something acid, something acidic happened there. The toxic aura. And Quake is down. But she did so much damage. And this is what I really wanted to point out. Keep in mind here that Immortal Abomination takes 100% less damage from poison effects, and the recovery reduction that's typically from poisons is 50% less effective. Watch this. I'm going to start this fight with 3% health, and when this video finishes, I'm not going to use any items. Look at what the health is. Like, I know some of you are just going to scroll forward. That's fine. I totally get it. I respect that. But watch this out and you're going to miss some really cool tips. Trust me, you'd regret it. But you've already left, so you wouldn't know that. Those of you who are still here, like, dude, what are you talking about? All right, so we're going into this. One of the things I did learn is the SP2 can sometimes trigger rage. It can be a little bit of a problem, right? Because it is going to go unblockable. I believe I'm going to send Ghost Rider unblockable, probably because we had the class advantage. I think we're going to send someone else unblockable. I don't recall who, but we'll get there when we get there. One of the tips I did learn is, if possible, you can throw your SP2, if you really want to, into the block of the defender. See, there we go. We triggered 4 Furies there. So that's going to get a little dangerous, could cause a little bit of a problem. You're really not relying on the damage from the special 2. Obviously, it does something nice. But look, we landed ours and he was still at like 80 some odd percent. The big damage is coming from this. This is coming from stacking those poisons, getting them up to 10, using our toxic aura to help us get there. And you see, just from doing that, we took off about 30% health. So if you can throw your SP2 in the block, it creates a lot of distance too. So I never did get punished. I ran this a couple of times. And I never did get punished from throwing my special 2 into the block. And it could be a safe way to do this if this is something you wanted to replicate, if you wanted to have a good time with this. So just keep that in mind. I don't remember if I do throw my SP1 here, which is what you would normally do when you're playing Immortal Abomination to keep the poisons going. At this point, you actually could maybe do another toxic aura. It really, it'd be up to you and what you're comfortable with. Because I seem to have plenty of poisons to keep everything going. Yeah, should throw the SP2. The reason I was debating it and struggling with it, as you see, is it did do enough damage that it sent him unblockable. But that means I just now need to play. I'm going to make sure I push him over that bar of power so that I can continue to bait the specials. And then, we kill him. I always love that death animation because when the toxic aura and the poisons just kill them, it's like they got shot. So anyways, we started that fight with 3% health. And you'll see what we're going to now start this one. And if I remember correctly, I made a mistake or two. And I think I took even a hit. And we're starting this one at 34% health. I think there's one more fight after this. And I really think you're going to be surprised at what we're going to end up with. But this is pretty much be the exact same scenario here. Baiting the specials, what have you, trying not to send him unblockable. So I don't recall if I do or not. Like I said, I ran this lane a couple times and tested a few different things. And I know I sent some folks unblockable. We'll see here. I think we'll get a sense on whether I will or not. When we throw this SP2, we see how much damage it does. I'll be surprised if we do that much. Yeah, I guess because of the node. Enhancing special damage. That's really what's doing it there. So again, I remember, and I know me, and I know the way I'm playing. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do here. I did want to bait his SP1. I every once in a while, Cap's SP2 catches me if I'm not on my toe. So I know that's what I was doing. Obviously, I want to get to that SP1 to refresh. The problem is now I'm concerned that the SP1 is going to trigger Rage. And it's really the SP2 that you want to rely on to get the Toxic Aura up. I guess in hindsight, maybe you could go to the SP3. I don't recall if I do that or not in this fight. Looks like I'm just choosing. No, I am going to throw the SP3. And this whole time, I mean, obviously you're seeing it. The health bar on Immortal Abomination just going up. So yeah, so that's the problem though, is I have sent him unblockable. Fortunately, I am now unblockable because of all the poisons that have added up. The Toxic Aura has done its work. And I'm trying to see, I can't think of what it's called. The acid burn there is doing its job too. So just having to play him unblockable, it's not too bad when we're doing this much damage. Make sure to push him over the bar of power, hit him to the block. Got a little lucky there. He could have punished me, but he did not. And then I think this should end it right here. Gonna throw my special. He's already unblockable, so I'm not really worried about, triggering more Furies and sending him unblockable. If anything, I just wanted to get him over the bar of power, do as much damage as I could, and then bait his special and end it. So now we're at 76% health. Started at 3%, and we were slightly above 30. Now we're at 76. We have one last fight here against this Aegon. And again, it's just, this guy is awesome. This guy is absolutely awesome. I'm taking more fights with him. Let me know though, right? Let me know. I think I'm still going to put out more videos on iBom because I have more fights that I think are just incredible. Show how absolutely useful he is. I know, especially because it was Brian. I think so many people were like, oh, we're going to see him dominating war, and he's an amazing Doom counter. And he is an amazing Doom counter. But so many of the nodes that we saw Doom on really didn't allow for Immortal Abomination, or they did, but there was just superior counters at the time. That doesn't mean Immortal Abomination is not as absolutely great as people thought he was. This is one of those guys that's completely lived up to the hype. In fact, if anything, I think he's better than at least I know I thought he was. I use him in AQ right now, and not just for Acid Wash. He's awesome. He's pairing really well and doing great things with Kingpin. I know it sounds strange, but things are going to take, and I'll get that video out. The more I'm talking about, the more excited I am about it. But here we go. We're already up to 91% health, and this is something that's not talked about with this guy, right? No one likes using potions. No one likes using revives. Maybe your fight will take just a few hairs longer, right? A few seconds longer because you got to get to your SP2. Oh no. You had to throw an SP2. I'll take that. I'll save items, I'll save units, and have to get to an SP2 in a fight and be able to do this, to go from 3% health. Hopefully I don't make any more mistakes. I don't think I do. To go from 3% health all the way up to 100% while taking a rage node with this dude. I don't know. Pretty darn cool to me. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sure you took other champions. Who did you take? Who did you take? Who did you use on this? I'm really curious. There's one I have in mind who I think we've kind of forgotten about him, and I'm very excited about him potentially becoming a bigger deal in this game again. But let me know who you took, and let me know, do you want to see more Black Panther? Do you want to see Immortal Abomination? Honestly, I'm having so much fun with them. They're probably going to come anyways, but I'd always like to hear it from you. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.